Hi, my name is Morgan Damon, and I will be talking about the themes we studied in American literary cultures as it relates to O Pioneers by Willa Cather. To give some background information, this novel is by Willa Cather and it was published in 1913. It is a work of historical fiction about a Swedish American family of immigrants that make their living from farming. The themes I will talk about as they apply to the novel include nature as our teacher, dangerous spaces, small towns and big cities, and migration. The first theme is nature as our teacher. Nature is often looked towards for comfort, as Alexandra does throughout the novel, burying herself in catering to the land. In addition to comfort, nature can also be used as an introspective outlet. In Walt Whitman's Song of Myself, he states that all truths wait in all things, they neither hasten their own delivery nor resist it. This is saying that the truth will be revealed no matter what. The space of nature does not matter to truth because setting and mind space is not relevant to the ultimate conclusion that truth will come out. In O Pioneers, similarly, over time, working the land has revealed many aspects about Alexandra's character, including that there is something individual about the farm, a most unusual grimness and care for detail, and that it is in the soil that she expresses herself best. Her intuitiveness is highlighted as her methods make the land thrive, despite suggestions from others on how to manage it. As you read through the novel, Alexandra's character develops, displaying what she thinks she doesn't need. Her hard labor over the years in carrying the legacy has taken a toll on her and has shown Alexandra that she needs rest and someone to depend on. The theme of dangerous spaces is apparent throughout the story. Through Bergson went over in his mind the things that had held him back. One winter his cattle had perished in a blizzard. The next summer one of his plow horses broke its leg in a prairie dog hole and had to be shot. There are many hardships that speak to his dedication to the land, which he then passed down to Alexandra. Like Alexandra's dream in which she sees a man that is savior-like, which represents how she subconsciously wants someone to take care of her. In The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, Mary wants someone to take care of her in a way that is nurturing, but doesn't get in the way of how she wants to live. The woman in the wallpaper is herself without the hindrance of her husband. With him, she was slowly going mad by not being listened to and not being her full, true self. Carl ends up being the savior-like man to Alexandra. In contrast to Mary's husband, Carl empowers her and appreciates the land as well, and allows her to shoulder the burden of maintaining the land onto him. Up next, we have the contrast of small towns versus big cities. When Carl says, "But off there in the cities there are thousands of rolling stones like me. We are all alike. We have no ties. We know nobody. We own nothing. We sit in restaurants and concert halls and look about at the hundreds of our own kind and shudder." He explains not only the lack of individuality of living in the city, but does so in a way that praises Alexandra's connection to the farm, living in a small town. In this case, staying on the farm was staying true to herself, but she emotionally was stagnant in growth. Likewise, another work that compares small towns to big cities is Flannery O'Connor's Good Country People. This story portrays the small town as limiting, with the characters naive to the outsider Bible salesman who comes and visits. Holga's eyes are more open to the life outside her own simple life, and Alexandra's emotional growth came after she allowed herself to lean on Carl, who returned from the big city. The last main theme is about migration. With the pioneer mindset, the Bergson family moved from Sweden to Nebraska. Although it is a scary and risky change, it is in hopes for a more fruitful life. Alexandra eventually takes over the farm for her family as the oldest child. Through "I'm afraid they are beginning to feel hard toward me because I won't listen to any talk about going. Sometimes I feel I'm getting tired of standing up for this country." The reader can see her commitment to the land, so much so that it even causes conflict within her family. In Just Jens, Who's Irish, the story focuses around Chinese and Irish immigrants moving to America to fulfill the American dream. The dynamics within the narrator's family creates a few clashes as the melding between the cultures as well as generational differences come into play. One of the causes behind the conflicts is that both works display a deviation from traditional gender roles. Alexandra and Natalie take on more of the work compared to their male family counterparts. This story says that love is fleeting. There are many missed connections with Carl and Alexandra and also Marie and Emil. The love in this story is inconvenient and unconventional. Before, Alexandra had a strange relationship with love as she primarily focuses on her love of the land. She is not purposefully trying to push others away. After the passing of her father and her brother, only then is Alexandra able to finally reconnect with Carl with his support of her love of the land through "You belong to the land," Carl murmured, "as you have always said, now more than ever." Thank you.